I think it's very interesting because I think we as human beings want to achieve because we feel like we're going to leave our mark on the world. It makes us feel like maybe we were here, that we've made a difference. And we spend all of our time doing. And then at the end of our lives, you don't go to a funeral very often and they say he won this award and that award and he did this and that. The people talk about how kind he was, how he helped his neighbors, the type of father he was. They talk about the human qualities that made a difference in someone's lives. And yes, that person could be a multiple Pulitzer winning prize author or, Academy Award winner or whatever. But when people get up to talk about their lives, they talk about the person, not the achievements. And so I think that's the divide. But we as people, we think it's the achievements that make the person. But it's not. It's the person that makes the achievements. So if you put the person first and the achievement second, then there's not as much of a divide. The one thing I would change about the acting industry is how they perceive women overall. I remember as a young actress, I was in my 20s, and I idolized, and rightfully so, Meryl Streep as the greatest American actress. And I remember hearing an interview with her and her saying there are no good roles for women out there. And I was shocked because I thought, wait a minute, I'm aspiring to be you and you're telling me there's no good roles out there? Like what's happening to the industry? And I think in a lot of ways we short sell women once they get past a certain age thinking they're not interesting or beautiful or compelling enough to watch. Just as the bloom starts to go off the rose, women become very complex and very interesting. And stories need to be told more about women who are past their prime and those stories. And I think they think, well, if it's not, an 18 to 24-year-old male audience, nobody's going to go see it. But the truth is, it doesn't matter. Story is story. It needs to be told, and eventually everyone will want to see that because everyone has a mother. Those young boys in that demographic have mothers that they're going to need to understand and embrace the complexity of. So I think we've failed women in a lot of ways to relegate them to the roles of wife or girlfriend or the second tier, to the male character.
Do you think that will change the expectations that we put on women for what they should be doing?
It's so funny that you use the word should be doing, because that was a word as a young girl that I heard out of my grandmother's mouth. Shouldn't you be helping your mother with the dishes? Shouldn't you be doing this? And I think there is certain shoulds, but they're not necessarily things that we have to live up to or obey based on the old, marriage vows. You must obey your husband. I don't think women need to do shoulds anymore. I think they're finding their own voice and what makes me happy and how do I feel. And, I think I have to say thank you to the women who've come before us who have really blazed the trail against those shoulds so that when we see women maybe necessarily not doing what they have in the past, it doesn't matter as long as it's motivated by their particular history in an authentic and honest way. We'll believe it, and maybe that will give us the courage to find our own authenticity and tell our own story in a new and unique way. So anything that smacks of should, I start to go, who are you trying to please and who are you trying to make feel guilty? Like, that's not my world, so I love that you used that word. But I also think story does give us the courage to look more deeply inside ourselves for our own motivations and our own psychology and the things that surprise us about our own characters. So I think ultimately that's the fascinating part about being an actor, is that you get to go inside someone else's skin and find the why. Why did I do this? Why am I thinking this? Why did I make that choice to do that to that person? And how can I justify it in an authentic, clear way?